Republicans are reacting to Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination to the Supreme Court and to the war in Ukraine at the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC. The annual gathering is also seen as a launching pad for presidential hopefuls in the 2024 race. But tonight, attendees will hear from the 2020 Republican presidential nominee. CBS News chief election and campaign correspondent Robert Costa is covering CPAC in Orlando, Florida. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Former President Trump is scheduled to speak here at CPAC tonight in Orlando, but CPAC is about more than former President Trump. It's also a snapshot of the Republican Party.
Inside the convention halls, where party leaders mingled with talk radio hosts and college Republicans, the war in Ukraine is stirring up new debate on foreign policy. There is plenty of sharp criticism of President Biden and broad support for the embattled Ukrainian people.
These are people that are basically saying, we refuse to be Putin's slaves, we refuse to live under tyranny, and we're prepared to give our life and die for it.
But there is no Republican consensus about how exactly the U.S. should respond.
We actually need to decrease our troop presence in Europe.
And the party is still strongly influenced by Trump. In recent days, he has called Putin smart and savvy on Ukraine, drawing rebukes from Democrats and a muted GOP response.
There are lots of things President Trump says that I wouldn't say. And his rhetoric, I, with some regularity, disagree with. But if you actually look at policy, who actually stood up to Russia? It's not even close.
Possible 2024 hopefuls are navigating all of these dynamics, at times uneasily, balancing Trump and the base with their own views on Putin.
A word you used in a recent interview, respect, with regard to Putin, has generated a lot of attention. I'm sure you're aware of it. Why did you choose to use that word?
Because I have respect for him. Because he is shrewd. Because he is cunning. You can see it. He's now invaded a nation and borne almost no cost from an administration that is supine in the face of this threat. You know, I've been fighting communists since I was a teenager. I've been crushing them everywhere I've gone my entire life. I want to crush Vladimir Putin, too. But you don't pretend, right? You don't pretend that your enemy is weak when he's not. You don't pretend he's dumb when he's smart.
I think he's an evil man. He's an evil man who craves power, and he only respects strength. And President Biden's been weak, and that is why we have the consequences we see playing out today in Ukraine.
Many Democrats have criticized Republicans here for being too close in their rhetoric to Russian President Vladimir Putin. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the president has put maximum pain on Russia in recent days. But it's President Trump who will speak here later today. His sources close to him tell me he has no regrets about his comments on Putin, and he's going to take a usual traditional line on Russia and not get into any criticism of the Russian president. Back to you.
Interesting to hear that, Robert. A lot of people following that so closely. And by the way, Bob, extending you a very warm welcome, as I'm told this is your inaugural CBS Saturday Morning hit. I was honored to be on with you on Red and Blue for your inaugural streaming hit. And here we are once again. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks so much, Elaine. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon.